Hey guys, Zerkaa here and welcome back to our Millwall Career Mode series, and we're keeping in the swing of this series and uploading as regularly as possible still. And you can see we started this episode and we get a job offer from United States or USA. We're going to reject that obviously because they're not exactly that good of a team. I want to be in the top teams. Apologies to any Americans that watch this. You did draw against England last time you played against us, but I'm going to say that you're not that good of a team. I'm waiting out for an England or a Spain or a Brazil, and that's who I'm going to wait out for now. Portugal was kind of like a team that was kind of a massive team, but they ended up being not as good as I thought they would be, and they're also not going to be able. They're not featuring in the European Championships at the end of the season, so it's not really worth me doing. We're going to our first game here against Sunderland, and we're on the run. We're on the back of a run of 2 losses in a row. So I went into this game not very confident. Was in pretty poor form. But I went in this game hoping I could just pull out a victory and kind of turn around my form, because I didn't want to start slipping up and losing points, because I wanted to stick up there with that top 6 teams, just so we have a chance, that small possibility of us finishing in the top 6. I know we're probably clutching at straws with that, but still it's something that I would like to be able to achieve this season. And I think we have the squad to the squad is actually able to achieve. I think the squad has enough potential and skill in itself to actually achieve that, especially with Vidal and Piazon up front. As long as they stay fit, I think we should continue to have a good season. And we started this game pretty well. As I saw, Ake scored from that corner there, a nice little cheeky finish. Kind of like it came down low, and he's kind of turned around and followed around with the ball and put that into the corner. And the goalkeeper was like completely unaware of that happening. Redmond goes down the right hand side now, has a shot. And a pretty poor shot to be honest. I kind of aimed it for the back post, and it seemed to just go straight down the middle, straight at the goalkeeper. It had a lot of power behind it, but it just didn't have the right direction to go in. So Piazon had a shot there, and it was blocked, but it falls back again to him. He shoots again, and that is then saved, but it falls nicely to Vidal, who then puts that away to make it 2-0. And just to 2-0 to be 2-0 up before half time against Sunderland, I was feeling pretty confident. I knew that we wasn't really going to slip up this victory. And Vidal again with a nice little run, tries to play it to Benzia, but luckily it still goes to Benzia. Benzia then turns and then finesses it into the bottom right hand corner to make it 3-0 before half time. And at this point it was game over, and then I knew that the second half would either be, second half has, I don't know actually, that's a bit pointless thing to say. I was about to say the second half will either be really quiet or really action packed, and that's pretty much just saying that's stating the obvious really. But still, we went on and I tried to get some more goals. I was hoping I could bring up that goal difference even more, because usually in career mode, once you're beating a team, they do tend to crumble and their defence does seem to fall apart. And you saw there, I scored again in the 60th minute there to make it 4-0, and that was Vidal picking up that goal again. And that game actually ended 4-0, and you see here Vidal picking up 2 goals, Benzia picking up 1, and Ake picking up 1 as well. So 4-0, really good result, again improving our goal difference that even more. And we're going to look at the league table now, so you can actually see what that goal difference is actually standing at. And it's actually at plus 23 already, only 15 games into the season. We're sitting in 7th still, scored 42 goals, conceded 19, won 9, drawn 1 and lost 5. And you can see Norwich are actually sitting in 2nd. I think you're going to see that I scroll down to the bottom of the league and then actually scroll back up in disbelief. Because I was like, did I actually see that? Yeah, look, so they're sitting in 2nd, only 2 points away from Man City, who are sitting in 1st. Now we go into our cup game here. It's the quarter-final of the Capital One Cup, and we're up against Chelsea, very strong opponents, and obviously with Lukaku they have Lukaku up front, who I'm assuming has grown into a really good player, because you'll see in this game that Chelsea kind of brought it back down to reality. And in the 4th minute, Oscar picked up a goal there, a couple of defensive mistakes and a poor slide tackle enabled him to get through and then slide into the bottom left hand corner and off the post and in to make it 1-0 to Chelsea. And obviously, as I said, once you concede an early goal, if you either score or concede an early goal, that is then going to decide the rest of the game for you, unless you can instantly counteract on that goal. So if you concede one, you're likely to lose pretty badly, and it's going to be hard for you to get back in the game. Where if you score one early on, their team will crumble. As seen when I played QPR, I scored in like the 2nd minute, and then I'll beat them 7-0. So that's proof there, right? There's proof for you right there. And as you can see here, Lukaku then buys through my defence using his pace and his strength, and finishes that into the bottom left-hand corner to make it 2-0. And I was worrying at this point, because obviously it's Capital One Cup, it's the quarter-final, there's 2 legs. So the worst thing I wanted to do was lose badly in this game, and I wanted to pick up an away goal, because the away goal rule does stand in the Capital One Cup. So I wanted to pick up an away goal at some point. That was like kind of my target, because I knew that once I was 2-0 down, I didn't really have much chance. But I did try my best to push for a goal. But from pushing for a goal, I then had my defence was a lot easier to break down for them, and Victor Moses then made it 3-0 there just before half time. And at this point, I was worried that this could definitely turn into an absolute battering, like the same way I did to QPR. And we're moving to the second half here, and you see Piazon picks up the ball, turns a ton of defenders, and then shoots into the near post to make it 3-1. And that gave us a little glimmer of hope for the second half, hoping that we could actually pull back into the game after we scored that first goal. Because obviously, as I said, the same kind of rule applies to the second half. If you can score earlier in the second half, then you do get like a nice little bit of momentum on your side, and it does help you push on to try and get back in the game. And it's moving to 58th minute now, and they had a corner, and it kind of deflected around. Eventually got cleared out to Lukaku's path, and he finishes. That's like a mixture of finesse and finish. He finishes that into the bottom left-hand corner, and that makes it 4-1, and that is pretty much game over at that point, because I couldn't see myself pulling back 3 goals getting the game. But at least we have an away goal. Which now means that we are currently 4-1 down on aggregate in this quarter-final. It means we now have to have Chelsea come to us, and we have to try and beat them. Well, 3-0. A 3-0 win is good enough for us to get through. So as long as we can equalise them, well, yeah, as long as we don't concede against them while they're away to us, then we should be alright. It's just, I don't really think I'm going to beat Chelsea 3-0. But so that looks like we're out of the cup. I'm going to try my best to get back into it and try my best to beat them 3-0. But the likelihood of that happening is pretty unlikely. You see here, I got offered the job role at Arsenal again. I think this is the second time so far this series. But again, I rejected that. I'm obviously not going to be changing club at all in this series. Some of you have asked that before, so that will clear that up for you, any guys who have asked that. And I'm showing the league table again. I don't know why, because you've already seen it and it hasn't had any changes to it. So we're going to skip that really quickly. We're now going to go to the squad report here. And again, as always, I'm not going to try and keep up with it too much. I'm just going to try and let you guys look at it. We can see that my team as a whole is really starting to pick up, both in value and in overall rating. But you'll see some of our players are really starting to be worth quite a lot of money. So we have quite a lot of money sitting in our team now. And there's a few players that have grown quite considerably. I mean, the most notable performers so far this season, I would say, would be Benzia and Piazon. I would never thought Benzia would finally actually start to prove himself, but he has so far this season. He's now worth 9 million, and Piazon is now worth 13.5 million. It's gone up +3 as well. And again, Vidal is always growing like he always does. Gone up +3 this season. He's now worth 25 million. And so it's always interesting to think how much he's going to be worth come the end of the season, or even come like 2 seasons down the line. He definitely looks like he's going to be a player that's going to be hitting a 90+ overall. So he's definitely looking like we have a lot of money on our hands just rested in one player. And I mean, obviously I'm not really going to sell him, but if it does come about, I do have a kind of worry back in my head that someone will come in for an offer for him that the board won't be able to refuse. Like if Real Madrid come in and say, oh, we want 60 million, we'll give you 60 million for him. I'm pretty sure the board will accept it beyond like my acceptance or not. They'll just accept it, and that'll be Vidal gone, and we have to try and find someone good enough to replace him. And whether that's going to be whether or not that's going to happen is hard to decide. I mean, Piazon is up there as being as good as Vidal, but he's just not the same. Like it's something you'll see if I wish I could like give you my game saves, you could play with him, because he's just such a crazy player. I've never played with someone on FIFA that is that good. Why is it whenever I do a video my phone goes off, and then someone will comment now and they will say, I thought that was my phone. It's actually a DM from Twitter. Anyway, right. Let's now go into our next game here against Tottenham. Obviously Spurs are a very strong side, and they've been a team that have definitely given me a fair share of good games. I mean, last season I think they beat me both times I played them, and they made me look pretty stupid both times as well. But so far this season they're actually below us in the league. I think they're sitting in 9th or 10th, so not performing as well as they did in previous seasons. I think like Norwich have pretty much taken their place somehow. I don't know what Norwich have done to their team, but they are working really well so far. And this game was a very tight, boring game, to be honest. I mean, there wasn't really any standout chances. I mean, I'm showing you some of the best chances of the game. Most of the like the whole game was based around the centre circle. But we break here in 85th minute, and this is the goal. I thought this was going to be a goal, and Loris, or I can't say his name. Hugo Loris, he managed to save that there. Piazon finessing with his right foot. He's a left-footed player. Probably the wrong decision to make there, but I thought it was going to go in anyway, and it didn't. But so that game is actually drawn 0-0. Pretty decent result. I mean, I can't complain. Kept a clean sheet. Cragno doing pretty well for himself. He didn't have too many saves to make, to be honest, though. You see, we have Aidan O'Brien returning from loan, and Aidan O'Brien's a player that we just need to get rid of. And it's getting to a stage where I'm just contemplating just releasing them. The players I don't want, just releasing them, because they're just pointless them being here. I don't know why they're here. I'm now going to take a look at the league table. See, we're still sitting in 7th place. Norwich are now in 3rd. And Leicester City are actually bottom of the table with 8 points, which is quite interesting because Leicester and Millwall will be playing tonight. Probably when this video goes up, Leicester and Millwall will be live on Sky Sports 1, and Millwall will probably lose, to be honest. This is real life we're talking about right now. I'm a pretty pessimistic fan when it comes to Millwall. I think it's almost like a defensive mechanism where I'm just like, oh, we're going to lose. So if we do win, it's like a surprise, and if we lose, it's like, oh, I told you so. But still, I'll be cheering them on tonight. And if you guys want to go watch Millwall on Sky and see what we're all about, then please do come and check out the game. I don't know why I'm advertising for Millwall in real life now. But that's the end of today's episode. If you enjoyed it, then please leave a like as always. Leave some feedback if you have any feedback to give. And if you want to check out my Draw My Thing episode that I put up yesterday, then click on the left hand side of the screen. If you want to subscribe to my Zerkaa Plays channel, then click on the right hand side of the screen. And I shall see you guys next time. Goodbye.